Hey, welcome back. Audrey here from chica+co. The pet food industry has exploded over the past 10 years with literally thousands of new products available for our pets to eat. So what does this mean for us, the pet owners, in reality? Well, it means some good and some bad and a whole lot more downright confusing choices we need to make for our pets. And man, making those choices are really hard when a lot of people are telling you one thing and on the other side a whole lot of people are telling you another. Who are we supposed to believe? Today, I'm going to talk all about those words that are slapped all over pet food packaging and help you to spot the marketing traps so you can choose what's best for your pets. The US pet food industry, including dry, wet, treats and fresh formulas, was valued at approximately $65.8 billion in 2024. In Australia, the pet food market was valued at approximately $3.2 billion, or about 2.1 billion American dollars at our current exchange rates. For 2025, estimates project growth up to 3.5 billion here in Australia. These staggering figures were fueled by rising pet ownership and demand for premium products, and it's projected to grow even bigger, 3 to 4% year on year. Well, I'll start with the good news, which is when there's this much money to be made, more and more manufacturers are emerging, and the range of traditional pet foods has exploded, which leads me to compare today's choices with the choices we had to make some years ago. If you're old like I am, you'll remember the pet food section in the supermarket taking up a really small portion of a single aisle. There were half a dozen types of dry kibble and some tins, some for cats and others for dogs. There was nothing like the ranges that are available today, and there certainly wasn't a fridge section containing cooked or raw meat blends anywhere to be seen. So much simpler to make your choices back then. So back in the day, a lot of family-run butchers were in the same group of shops as that supermarket. And if you wanted to get Fido a bone as a treat, you bought it there. And a lot of the time, these butchers would give you a bone or two for free when you were doing your weekly meat shop. I grew up showing dogs. My parents fueled my love for dogs from a very young age, and our weekends were often taken up showing them. We simply fed our dogs a mix of tinned wet food and table scraps and a bone or twice, a couple of times a week. Their diets weren't highly processed. And interestingly, none of them ever had the health issues we see today. This pandemic of itchy, allergy-prone dogs, the chronic dental disease and the morbid obesity epidemic that is just so common it's considered to be normal. We, as a society, consider yearly dental cleanings under general anaesthetic to be absolutely normal as well. That wasn't the case in the past. So here's the big burning question. Considering the vast number of pet food brands available today, the array of supplements, probiotics, toothpastes, prescription diets available, why are there so many dogs that are so much sicker today than what they were 30 years ago? There was none of these things available then. The supermarket and the butchers supplied the tiniest range of foods, and that was it. I had this conversation with my mum actually, and her dog was constantly itchy. She had regular stomach upsets. She was feeding a premium kibble. It was costing her a small fortune. And her simple question was this: why is my dog so unwell all of the time? And then she went on to explain, we've had dogs all of our lives. She's 80 now. And we now know so much more about food and nutrition than what we did 50 years ago. And the food I'm feeding her says premium complete and it's balanced and optimal. It says I should not feed her anything else other than this food. You would think that was fantastic, the huge amount of choice we have today, but is it really that great? Our pets certainly aren't any healthier as a population, and we are spending a whole lot more money on foods, supplements and the like. And I speak for so many of my customers and nutrition clients and my mum here. The choices are overwhelming. There are too many products all screaming they are the best. The answers to all your dog's or cat's health problems right there in that bag. And then you have your vet, the professional you literally trust with your pet's life, scaring you into believing one food is the only food you will ever need to feed. And that, God forbid, you try to feed a more natural and unprocessed food rather, because at best you'll make your pet sick, or at worst you might even kill them. And unfortunately, believe me, I have been vet shamed more than once when I tell them that my dogs are eating. That's just simple, real food. But that's another topic for another day. I've done another entire video on the topic of dogs eating dog food and people eating people food. That one's linked below if you want to check it out. The other reason why I don't believe being spoilt for choice at the pet store isn't, and it isn't all that it's cracked up to be, is simply put, all the buzzwords and marketing hype so many companies use to get you to buy their products. The information available on social media, all those dog groups you belong to, they're all shouting for your attention. And yes, YouTube, my channel included, your Google search browser history will also skew what it shows you as well. If you search the best kibble for dogs, all you'll see after this is dry food options, and all of them are telling you that they're the best option for you. Being a multi-billion-dollar market, the gloves are off when it comes to marketing, and the victims in this war for your dollar is unfortunately the truth. And just as my mum's choice of food for her dog is a great example, it said all the right things on the bag. And here's the truth, and this really pisses me off, so warning, rant incoming. Okay, all those statements and claims that X brand is the very best, the most popular and most loved by dogs everywhere. The gold standard, premium, and the new super premium claims are all unsubstantiated. I can claim my Complete and Balanced, for example, super premium, human grade, hypoallergenic, breed specific, cooked organic meal formulation. This is an example, I don't have one, is the best on the planet. And I never have to back any of those hollow buzzwords up with any sort of proof. And this is where we all fall into the same trap, believing all those carefully crafted buzzwords and empty promises because, well, we want to. I want to feed my pets the best food on the planet. I have a very specific breed, dachshunds. I want super premium because that's so much better than just good. I want hypoallergenic to make sure my dogs don't develop allergies. Organic is so much better than just the normal stuff. And I want Complete and Balanced because that's what's best, right? So I'm going to buy that product because all my trigger words were activated and they were all addressed. Promises were made to me by that particular product. So where's the bloody proof, people? Can these companies show me the research, show me the ingredients and where they were sourced? Where is the organic certification, for example? And what the heck does super premium mean? And why does it seem so much better than just premium or plain old good? Can you imagine a product, the same formula essentially, packaging their food and simply calling it good dog food? I'd walk on by. Okay, just to list a few of the most common buzzwords in pet food land to keep an eye out for, starting at the oldie but the goodie, human grade. Now, what does this really mean? Well, it should mean it's suitable to feed a human, and it's been tested and passed all of the health inspections from sourcing the ingredients to the place it's manufactured or made, and then down to the ingredients used, and then the way it is actually packaged. That's for humans. And how many times have you seen human-grade pet food being advertised and sold? It's a lot, right? No pet parent wants to feed their pets food that is pet grade. God, no. Human grade all the way for my babies. Except that no raw or cooked balanced formulations can claim this, as humans don't eat raw meats, bone or offal combined together. In fact, any pet food that has bone matter in it all cannot be sold as human grade, whether it be raw, cooked, dry or tinned, despite the fact they claim it is. They can claim human grade ingredients, but technically that's a lie as well, as raw offal and bone matter will never be classified as human grade. Human grade ingredients are classified as suitable for humans to eat. Pet grade or feed grade ingredients are not suitable for humans to eat. And the vast majority of all pet food ingredients fall into the pet grade or feed grade category just because of the costs. Now, this next one is complete and balanced. This one's a little bit tricky because to state this, it needs to meet AFCO's guidelines. That is, it needs to contain a minimum amount of nutrients to meet their incredibly low standards. AFCO's standards will ensure your pet lives. It says nothing about how well they will live, unfortunately, but they won't die. With the rise of all these smaller players in the pet food market, many of them are simply using this term without having their products tested in a lab and accredited. It's a very expensive process and it needs to be done regularly due to different sourcings of ingredients. For example, this week the smaller company X gets pork from here, next week from there. The recipe may be the same, but the ingredients, pork in this example, may be inferior due to the way the pigs were fed from that second supplier. So don't put back that food from the smaller manufacturer, whatever you do. Just read the labels, look for the ingredient list, the guaranteed analysis percentages, and then the AFCO accreditation number. My mum rang me, back to mum again, and asked me to check out a range of new lightly cooked foods from a decent-sized company here in Australia. It was created by a really large, quite large pet food chain, and they've launched their own in-house range. She was quite excited because it was new and it was cooked, her preference to feed her dog, after she understood that super expensive dry food she was previously feeding was causing so many health problems. It clearly stated complete and balanced all over the website and on the packaging as well. I looked into the listed ingredients and then at the very, very light on guaranteed analysis information, i.e. it was missing in action. Then I checked out the recommended daily quantity to feed, and that was a lot of food. Twice the amount you'd need to feed if it met all their nutritional requirements. And 2 of the top 5 ingredients were white rice and potatoes, both of which are starchy carbs. And no accreditation number to be seen or any AFCO logo. This is just one example of a larger company, like a much larger company, using those buzzwords without being transparent or, to be truthful and honest. And yes, most of the time they all get away with this type of deceit because no one is monitoring it. Now, next up is the way the descriptions of the food are written. And here's a trap for us all. That sounds awesome. What sounds awesome doesn't actually necessarily mean you are getting awesome. If you pick up a bag of roast chicken flavour and veggies dry food, you'd think you're getting a lovely roast chicken and a veggie meal. Nope. Flavour means just that, flavour. Many of these products actually only have small percentages of chicken meal or chicken digest. Both are chemically rendered powder made from the discards of the chicken industry, including the feathers, the stomach and the bow, including their contents. That's poop, right? The other one to watch out for is with. So if you see, as an example, adult dog food with beef, that bag or tin by law only needs to contain 3% of beef, and it always is beef digest or beef meal. So watch out for flavour and the word with in the product's names. It makes no difference if they throw in gourmet beef or Angus beef if it's after with. You're not getting what you think you're paying for, and it sure as heck is an Angus beef. And lastly, the one that pisses me off but also perplexes me the most is natural. All natural, nature's best, naturally sourced, you get the general idea. But what does natural mean? At first glance, it means real, right? It comes from nature, it must be good. You'd never buy a bag of pet food that claims to be ultra-processed, made from synthetic vitamins and minerals, made from ingredients that have been chemically rendered down into an unrecognisable powder, and then made tasty again with the addition of MSG. Nope. Back that bag goes, and into my trolley goes that bag that says all natural on the front. Except everything from this earth is natural. So this is where the grey area enters into marketing land. That chemically altered meat meal is technically natural. Those synthetic vitamins and minerals came from natural ingredients, just dramatically altered in a lab. Natural is probably one of my biggest peeves on all pet foods, as natural doesn't mean it's bioavailable food. Your dog will get more nutrients from a natural piece of beefsteak than a cup of natural beef flavoured kibble. It's bioavailable. They can digest all of it. So look for food that is minimally processed, if possible, and doesn't have a laundry list of unpronounceable words, numbers and chemicals. So here's my takeout. It's awesome. So many more options are available to us for our pets, but it's really confusing. It's really loud and overwhelming. And the world we're living in today is very different than what it was some years ago. Do as much research as you can to find out what's best for you and your pets. I've done another entire video on how 3 simple questions and 3 simple answers can help you navigate the marketing BS, and you can make the best choice of food for your dogs and your cats and yourself. It's linked below if you want to check it out. But most importantly, don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. Don't become overwhelmed. You're doing your very best for your pets. Just try not to fall for all those bloody buzzwords.